Okay, so we're getting started with this course, and where we're going to write CloudFormation templates, we have two options. We can use YAML or JSON as the languages to write CloudFormation templates. Now, let me tell you this right away. I personally hate JSON for CloudFormation. I think it is horrible, it doesn't scale, and I much prefer YAML in so many ways. Even though YAML can have issues as well, it is a much better option than JSON, and I think most of the templates you will see out there will be written with YAML. Nonetheless, the concept is the same, but before we write our first CloudFormation templates, I want to make sure that you know what YAML is. So let's learn a little bit about it. So on the left-hand side, what you can see is a YAML template, and it is a complex one, and I will describe one by one what is happening to it and the kind of features that YAML has. The first one is key value pairs. So the idea is that if you look at the first line, invoice, then there's a colon, and then there's a number. This is the key is invoice, and the value is 34843. If you look at date, and again, there's a colon, then there is a date. This is actually a string, which is 2001 minus 01 minus 23. So these are key value pairs. There's also nested objects. So if you look at the build2 object right here, you see build2 has a colon, and underneath there is a nested object, okay? And this one also has key value pairs, so given Chris, family, Demars, and then address yet again is a nested object because there's colon, and again, there are more fields. So as you can see with the YAML, you can go as nested as you want for your objects, and so you're free to write it as you want. And you will see this pattern coming back in CloudFormation templates a lot. It also supports arrays. So if you look at the products, and again, there's a colon, this time we have two minus signs, okay? And these represent arrays. So products with an S indicates that there are many products. And so the first one starts with a minus sign, and it represents the SKU, quantity, description, and price as an object, which is made of key value pairs. And the second element of this array starts again with a minus, which gives us information again about the SKU, the quantity, the description, and the price. And so we have one object in the array right here, and the second object in the array right here. We also have support for multi-line strings. So these are very, very difficult to do using JSON, but using YAML is quite simple. So if you look at address lines, as you can see right after the colon, there is a vertical pipe bar. And so this vertical pipe represents a multi-line string, which has two lines, the 458 Walkman Drive, and then the second line starting with suite. So as you can see, these two lines are one on top of the other, so they will be represented as a multi-line string. They're both part of one string with a line break. Okay, and finally, in YAML, you can include comments. Now, they're not represented right here, but you can start a comment with a hash sign, and then you can write comments in your YAML templates. We will be using this extensively as well, and this is a big difference of YAML versus JSON. So the best way to learn YAML is actually to practice it. So I've created a JSON document, and your goal is to convert it in YAML. So if we look at first hands-on exercise.json, we can see there is a long JSON document right here, and it contains some key value pairs. So for example, course, Iris Lambda, instructor, Stephane Maarek, and so on. There is some nested objects. So instructor full is a nested object. We have some arrays. So section list is an array of strings, and then lectures is an array of objects. So to add a little bit of complexity. So your goal is to convert this JSON document in a YAML file. I am not giving you the answer, but if you want to find the answer, because that could be interesting for you, you can convert this JSON as a YAML. And so to do so very simply, you just type JSON to YAML on Google. You will find a website, for example, this one, on which you would copy this entire JSON document, paste it, and you would get the solution in YAML. So don't look at it, but this is how you would verify your answers. So when you're good to go, please practice this exercise, and I will see you in the next lecture.